Did you know that you don't have to shrink to be powerful? No. You just need to reconnect to the body that you've been carrying around all along. Keep listening. This one is kind of tender. Welcome to Aging Flips, where it's all about empowering women in the grandmotherhood years. Whether you're already a grandmother, hope to one day be a grandmother, or soon to be a grandmother, empowering you to overcome challenges and live your best life. My hope is by being here and listening to this podcast, you leave more inspired and filled with possibilities for this season of your life. I'm Debbie Talbert, your host. I'm a wife, a mom to four adults, a grandmother to five, a retired flight attendant turned professional life coach. If you are here to grow, I can help you. Let's go. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so thrilled you're here. This is the podcast where we as grandmothers rise, lift, and lead. In this episode 116, we're going into part number 6 of the 7-part flight plan series. Each episode has been giving you a high-level look at one of the systems that I use to help you as you're aging with energy and purpose and joy and fulfillment. And basically all together making aging easier and more fun, which is what we want to still have in our lives, right? Fun. But if you want to practice it, it's a practice, not just learning it. It means putting it into practice in your real life and take actionable steps. And that's where coaching comes in, because the real shift happens when someone's able to help you and listen for and hear the stories you're telling yourself about aging and empowering you to reframe them, flip them around, and turn them into stories that make your life easier and more fulfilling. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the body. The body is a beautiful vessel that carries us. It's powerful. It's worthy of love. And she's absolutely amazing. Think of all the things that she has done for you. The things that your beautiful body has allowed you to experience, see, feel, notice, and the joy she's brought into your life. However, we can disconnect from our body. One of the stories that I remember about my grandson, the one he is 11 now, that this was happening in this story, and I'll never forget it. It just kind of gave me this big aha moment. When he was younger and I was helping him with bathing, he wasn't even 2 yet, but he was able to understand that he had an arm, leg, belly, and all of those kind of things, a thumb and a finger and the various parts that we have in our body. During this one particular bath time, we're washing all the parts, and he's laughing and playing around and splashing. I said, okay, now we got to rinse your body. He looked at me with this straight look on his face, and he's like, I know I have a body. And it was in that moment that I realized we had not actually taught him all of these various parts are connected together, forming a body. But it also helps me understand how, as women, we can disconnect from our bodies. We can think we're the talking heads walking around and we don't really have a body. And if we do think about it, it's something that's let us down. We're really not all that kind to our bodies. We can get to a point where the thoughts we have about our bodies, and it comes from social conditioning and a lot of beliefs that we're taught. Then our bodies are also changing because of menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, depending on what season you're in. And there are changes happening to our body. It's a natural part of it. And what we learn how to do inside the flight plan, in the body part, in the system that we have, we learn how to reclaim its strength and to appreciate it for all of its vitality. We also learn how to restore it with respect. If we have been doing things that have impacted our optimal metabolic health, we learn how to put things into place from the space of love and compassion for yourself. That's one of the things you learn how to do. And you also learn how to return to a relationship in which you listen to your body, you focus on nourishing your body, and respond to your body based on what's happening to you now, instead of some outside rule or regulation or substance or entity that you used to believe mattered. You're really focusing on this beautiful body to have and learning how to love her and appreciate her. Not from the point of, I need to eat less and be more in control, but from the point of, she's adapting, she's changing, and I want her to be able to thrive in this world today and experience all of the moments and times and joy that I want to experience in my life. So for many of us, and myself included, you have been taught that health is meant to be controlled by eating less, burning more, shrinking, tightening, toning, hiding, right? But in aging flipped here, we're not chasing anything. We're exploring, experimenting, and expanding our capacity to have fun and experience joy within these beautiful bodies that we have. One of the clients that I'm working with now inside our Fly First Love Yourself permanent weight loss program was very frustrated. She noticed herself being in this state of frustration all the time, especially when it came to her weight. And she was so frustrated with how much energy and mental energy in particular that it was taking her from her life by thinking that she should have a body that looks different, weighs a specific amount. And she was tired of doing all that. She simply wanted to live in her body again. So together, we worked on creating small experiments in which she could start to loosen up some of the things she had been believing. She would experiment each week with noticing when she ate something, what did it actually feel like in her body? Did she like it? Did she want to continue it? Instead of having rules and restrictions, she started to build in curiosity. Through that, she learned she no longer wanted to escape her body. She was excited to be living in her body, and she started to notice herself responding with more and more compassion and understanding for herself and her beautiful body. So those are some of the things that you learn how to do within the flight plan and the system of the body, if that's the framework you want to be working on for 12 weeks. So, right? In a project, and we design a project around that for you. So here's what I have come to realize with almost every person, especially women that I coach. You don't really understand what your body is trying to say. Not because you don't care, but because you've been trained to ignore it. After years of diet culture, anti-aging messaging, and even maybe medical gaslighting, where you go and get help from a medical professional and you're made to feel like what you're experiencing isn't actually happening to you, from the hustle and the pushing through, all that kind of pushing through and do it anyway and get yourself to do it anyway, regardless of what you feel like, you stop listening to your own body when we don't hear our bodies anymore. This is one of the things you open yourself up to and learning how to do, because when you do that, you build a more loving, compassionate, and connected relationship with yourself. And when you have a more connected relationship with yourself, aging is easier. Aging is more fulfilling, and it's also more fun. And so developing this way of learning to listen to your body with compassion and following through in your capabilities of expanding and finding out what you genuinely want at this season of your life is going to have you waking up filled with enthusiasm because you're curious about what are you going to be able to create today. And that's how the mind-body connection works, being in a body that you're curious about instead of a body that you're trying to rebel against makes your days more joyful and fulfilling. So as you're listening here, I do want to give you some little prompts or reflections to give you a way to start reconnecting with your beautiful body. Here's a simple but powerful exercise I want you to try. I want you to stand in front of the mirror and place your hand on your chest, or you can place it on your belly, whichever one of these areas feels more comfortable for you. Personally, I like to place it here on my chest. And then I want you to gently say, "This is my body." I get that you might not be able to do this and look in the mirror at the same time and be in front of the mirror. That's okay. You can, like I talked about in the last one, build your altitude and level your way up to that ability. I want you to give yourself the gift of starting where you are, meeting yourself where you are. I want to encourage you to put your hand on your chest or your belly, whichever one is more comfortable for you. I want you to say, this is my body, and I'm learning to love her. And really just let yourself feel that. What does that feel like? And then after you've given yourself the gift of doing that, I want to encourage you to write a letter to your body in just 3 sentences. Right? Just pick 3 sentences, something that you were able to open yourself up to noticing about your body. I'm learning to love her. And then I want you to write down in 3 simple sentences expressing that love for yourself. And my hunters will be very surprised at what the rest of your day feels like because you have given yourself this gift. Well, if something in this episode has sparked something within you and you're ready to stop rebelling against your body, to stop managing your body, and to start partnering with her again, I want you to head over to agingflip.com/easier. And I want you to take the time to fill out that questionnaire. Let me know what's going on for you so that I can send you the next best step for you. I do want to encourage you to do that. And I will see you in the next episode. Have an amazing rest of your week. Thank you for spending time with me today. If today's episode stirred something in you, if you've been circling your own someday desire, it's time to bring it out of that long-term parking lot and back into your view. Join me inside the playground. This is the community where grandmothers, current, soon to be, or someday hope to be, are building strength, self-trust, and a future you're excited to live. Tap on the link in the show notes or head over to agingflip.com/coaching. You get all the details over there. I just want you to know this is the exact right time for you. I'll see you next time.